What was it like in high school for you? Like, was it ever like, what did people think? You went to Catholic school, right? Like, I mean, what did they say about gay people?
They kind of shunned them, you know.
In the 70s, there was
They
only
kind of
beginning.
put them aside, you know, just like nobody wanted.
Did you go
Nobody wanted to
school
talk to
that
them.
was gay?
I can remember a couple. Yeah.
Were they shunned?
Yeah. They were like, kind of like put in the corner, you know, like people wouldn't talk to them.
They didn't use the word gay. They used the word faggots.
Yeah,
basically,
oh yeah,
or
that was
freaks,
exactly.
or sissies.
Until 5th grade, when I was talking to my friend in the lunch line. Her name was Nicole, and this kid Anthony came up to me and he literally just pushed my lunch tray up and said faggot, and I just broke. I mean, that was the first time anybody had ever called me a faggot. And I mean, it sounds silly now, but when you're, 9 years old and you're not even sure what the word means, I had to ask people what it meant, and they said, oh, it means you're gay. Oh, it's okay. My friends were trying to make me feel better, but it actually made me question myself and say, is this why I don't get along with all these guys? Is this what they think of me? I mean, the emotional, the mental torture that you go through from just that one word is awful, and I did. I had girlfriends all through elementary school. I had, Caitlin and Tori and then Lisa. I mean, I've had a beard since I was in kindergarten.
To be perfectly honest with you, I was pretty much picked on from 1st grade to the time I left high school. And it wasn't constant and, unbearable, but it was enough that I always had this feeling, if someone would call me something or push me or punch me or whatever, this feeling of, what did I do? What did I ever do to you? I'm just me.
So I got made fun of even more for being the sissy, artsy boy who was now a faggot. And, I actually realized that I was gay all on my own by the time I was in 6th grade, but I didn't want to tell anybody. But they sure told me. They told me all the time. I remember this one kid. I was so proud of myself. I got this brand new leather Calvin Klein backpack and this pea coat, and I looked so sharp, and I got on the school bus and he picked on me all the time, and I was so proud of myself. I thought I dressed up all nice, and I was going to impress my teachers because they were my only friends in school. And as soon as I got on the bus, he said, "You're a faggot." And I kind of quietly cried the whole ride to school, and then when I got to school, I threw the backpack away. I never felt so compelled to hide again. I came out of the closet when I was 15, and I was back in the closet by the time I was 16, proverbially. Some people knew that were close to me, but I lied to my doctors, which I never should have done. I lied to family. I lied to friends out here. I had best friends when I was 16, 17, living in LA that didn't know I was gay.
After each suicide attempt, it was, it got even darker. It was like, oh my God, you can't even do that right.
At the beginning of my high school, in my freshman year, I weighed over 210 pounds. It hurts to know that not only the outside world, the heterosexual world, sees me as, oh, you're gay and you're not allowed, but also the gay world, just because you're fat, you're not it was two worlds that just came to me and was wow, where do I belong in the end?
I was molested twice as a child. I was molested by a family member, and I was molested by someone from theater. I was young. I was young, 4, when the family member molested me. And that was really difficult. It also compounded when I was thinking about if I was gay or not, if it was because of that. And I've been to a lot of therapy to deal with that. I was also molested by someone who was only about 6 or 7 years older than me, but when you're 11, that's a big age difference. And he would go backstage in between shows and touch me and fondle me and do horrible things to me, and I was just a child. And that just added this whole other dimension to trying to figure out who I was. No, I knew it was his fault. I did feel like maybe because I wanted to be his friend at first, that maybe that led him on and all these horrible things. But, you know, I was terrified to tell anybody. You know, his family was really big in theater, and it was disgusting. When I finally told my mom, she wanted to kill him, and I didn't let her sue or anything. It makes me want to throw up thinking about it. It damaged me so much sexually that when my first boyfriend and I got together, I couldn't even get an erection for the first 3 months. And bless his heart, he stayed with me every day and told me he loved me and told me we were going to get through it. And finally, we were able to have sex. But I was so terrified, and my body was still in such shock just so many years later that it wasn't working.
The thing about foster parents is they tell you, you know, don't say anything, you know, don't tell them what's going on because, you know, they're going to take you away from us and you're going to go here and they're going to do this to you and this and that to you. And, you know, I was just young and naive, you know, I didn't think about it. And so that was already happening to me, all the stuff they said. You know, you're going to get raped, you're gonna get beat up and all this, all that was already happening. But I just was scared.
I shut myself down when it would happen, and finally it stopped, and I told my parents, and it was dealt with. It's not why I'm gay. I've heard some perspectives that are interesting that I think are kind of accurate. You know, predators are predators. What do predators look for? They look for easy prey. Predators look, especially sexual predators, look for kids who are gay because it messes with their mind. You know, you can tell if a kid's gay a lot of the time when they're very young, especially if they're in your family. And, excuse me, I believe that that man knew or had an inkling that I was and just took advantage of me. It's not why I'm gay. I knew I was gay when I was 2, you know, before I was ever molested. And those people are ignorant. Those people are ignorant that say that because you were molested, you're gay. And for those of you out there and those people out there that are thinking that that's why you're gay and hating yourselves for it, be strong, go to therapy. I went to therapy for many years. I'm very grateful for it because it helped me understand that I am who I am, and it has nothing to do with those crappy people. If you let scumbags define who you are, then you need to look at yourself in the mirror. And I know that's hard sometimes. I know that's harsh, but, you know, it's the truth. We are who we are. Gay people do not choose to be gay. And it has nothing to do with being molested.
It's not a choice. It's how you're born. And I don't know why it has to be an issue.